And I've got the latest mock draft for you. Now, you're not going to be surprised at all by what's at the very top of it. Victor Wembanyama is going to go number one, and that's pretty much all there is to say about that. It gets interesting at number two. Alabama's Brandon Miller is projected to go there to Charlotte. He led all Division I freshmen in scoring this year, just under 19 points per game. And then at three, the projection is that we will see Scoot Henderson from the G League Ignite, number three overall to Portland. Now, what will that mean for the Trailblazers' big picture? Here was Brian Windhorst yesterday on Damian Lillard's future if the Blazers do keep that number three pick.
So I checked in on the Lillard side of things about whether or not that there had been a change of heart there, and I was told unequivocally, no. Dame does not want a youth movement. He wants to play with veterans. He wants the team to upgrade fast and immediately with veteran players that can help him now.
So that, to me, is fascinating. Big Perk is here, Friedell is here, and Alan Hahn and I have been cooking up some trades for Damian Lillard. And the bottom line of it is this. If tomorrow night Adam Silver gets up there and says, with the third pick in the 2023 NBA draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Scoot Henderson from the G League Ignite, what do you think happens 10 minutes later?
Well, 10 minutes later, either he's traded, because we've seen that where they wear a hat, but it's not the team they're actually going to, or Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers start to have a conversation about where he's going to play next. There's two franchises in this draft that are going to have seismic changes that happen to them. The first one, obviously, is the Spurs with Wembanyama. Their future starts tomorrow night. But then at number three, it's the Portland Trailblazers, who are at a place. They're at the crossroads now. Do you start a rebuild with a young, very talented player and then get more assets by trading your superstar player in Damian Lillard and really go all in, 10 toes down on a rebuild? Or do you say, we're going to take this young talent that might be a great player down the road and turn him into players that can help our current superstar try to win a championship and make him a Blazer for life? That's not an easy question to answer, because to me, Nick, it's all about what offers you get for that pick.
What do you think, Friedell?
I think the biggest key is how much does Damian Lillard want to win a title? That's what we're going to find out. Does he want to stay in Portland and have his statue and say, I played for one team the whole time? Or does he say, you know what, I've loved it here, I've loved what I've done, but I want to go win? Because the reality, guys, is even if you trade for Zion, and even if you make this pick and you get some other assets in return, the Blazers could be better, but they're not good enough. Lillard's got a couple more years in his prime. It would take a while for everything to come together on that roster. This team is not championship caliber. If you're Lillard and you really want to win, you have to make that decision now, and you have to go to the front office and say, I've done everything you wanted me to do. Put me in a place where I can win right away.
All right, so Big Perk. Alan and I had a meeting this morning, and we put together a trade. Here's what's going to happen. The Trailblazers are going to take the young player. Dame Lillard is going to want to get out of there. The Philadelphia 76ers are going to say goodbye to James Harden. They're going to trade Tyrese Maxey, who's a good young player that everyone would love. They're going to trade the expiring, who's expiring? I keep forgetting. Tobias Harris, expiring contract.
Tobias Harris.
And they're going to trade him. They're going to trade that for Damian Lillard. They're going to team up Damian Lillard and Joel Embiid with a championship-winning coach and Nick Nurse, and they're going to try and make a run at it. What do you think of it, Big Perk?
I love it. I love it, G. But, you know, one thing that we have to keep a close eye on is this, right? You know, Dame has been nothing but loyal when it comes to that franchise. Will the franchise return the favor and trade him to a destination that he wants to be at to contend? That's the one thing that we have to look for. But the second thing, if he was to get to Philly with Joel Embiid, that would be everything. I mean, you're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers taking a tremendous leap. Now, again, with losing Tyrese Maxey, you still got to fill in the gap. I believe they will still need a third, quote-unquote, star alongside of them to be able to be a complete title contender. But just having the foundation of a two-time leading scoring champion, former MVP, and Joel Embiid, Damian Lillard, the best point guard in the game, that definitely would be must-see TV and would be definitely a great start to them building the foundation to go compete for an NBA championship.
Yes, and there's another piece to this too. In the bigger picture, Joel Embiid is by far the most important player that franchise has had since Allen Iverson. And the reality of it is there are increasing whispers about his future, that if they don't get that thing figured out, we talk about Dame's future, Joel Embiid's prime might not be all that long, right, based upon his history of injury and all the rest of that. And that guy does seem to want to win desperately. And if they can't get it done there are increasingly loud whispers that all of us start to hear that maybe he wouldn't be long for Philly.
Oh, of course. And if you see what's on the lower bar here on the screen, it says, would Damian Lillard be a good fit with the 76ers? A year from now, we could be doing, would Joel Embiid be a good fit for blank, fill in the
New York Knicks.
I'll say it, New York Knicks, of course. Why not?
Knicks.
But you've got, like, those scenarios start to come up because how much frustration does he have? Is this not the fourth coach now that he has played for? Like, he has gone through a lot of transition there, and still no one can get him over them. They run into the brick wall of the second round again with him and James Harden, and they run it back and just have a new coach and still can't get over the second round or even just get to the NBA Finals. If you're Joel Embiid, you got to feel like, all right, Jokic won his title, Giannis won his title. I'm the next guy that's got to win a title, or they're going to hold that against me after he won MVP. So that starts to percolate, and by a year from now, he might be the guy that says to the Sixers, you can't get it done, get me out.
To help their guy who has helped them so many years over time. If you're Dame Lillard, guys, this is easy to me. You go to that Portland front office and you say, hey, I want to go to Miami. I will make anything happen for y'all. The problem for the Heat is they just don't have that many assets right now.
Right.
But that front office, led by Pat Riley, for years has found creative ways to get extra picks, to find ways to make things happen. And the key with Miami would be you already have Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo in place. Lillard is the perfect basketball fit because offensively he does everything that they would need, and he works really hard and would fit exactly into what Eric Spoelstra's built with that culture. That team, if they got Lillard, could win a title next year. And I don't believe, even if you got him to Philly, given what they'd have to give up to get him, that would make enough sense where you went, oh yeah, the Sixers can do it next season.
Did we just lose Perk? Is he frozen or is he asleep? Is anyone else noticing what I'm noticing? I was about to go to him and then I realized he hasn't moved in a very long time. So I hope that nothing terrible has befallen Kendrick Perkins. I will most decidedly not ask him a question. So I'll move on to one other piece of information that we have. And in the modern era, meaning in 2023, this is pretty much the best form of currency that we have. Zion Williamson's name has been connected to this trade here because there was a tweet that suggested that Zion should get traded to Portland, and Damian Lillard liked that tweet. In 2023, that's pretty much the same thing as calling a press conference and announcing, I would like my team to acquire Zion Williamson. Right. Would that be, if Alan Hahn, if you're Dame, if they go out and they trade that third pick for Zion, which is the rumor that Wendy has been talking about here, that's what New Orleans wants, does that make you satisfied?
Well, it starts it because not only does it get you Zion Williamson, which is an all-star caliber, superstar caliber player that now you pair him with, and that's two brand names now you put together. In the NBA, all you need to do is put two brand names together, Dame, Zion. You got something, and then you obviously have more to do. But that also tells Jeremy Grant, who's a free agent, you know, I may want to stay here in Portland where they can offer him the most money to stay instead of go into free agency and go somewhere else. See, if they go through a rebuild, Jeremy Grant doesn't want to be part of a rebuild just like Damian Lillard doesn't want to. Jeremy Grant's a good player. So he now stays. It does make you better. And then you try to see what else you could do because other players that are free agents might say, Zion, Dame, I kind of want to be part of that. And then we see where they can go. But it starts the process for them becoming a contender.
What do you think?
They're still not good enough. Even if you get Zion, even if you get Zion, and Zion,
everyone can't be as good as Denver, right? Denver
you can get closer, though.
Greeny, what in the world is finally going to motivate Zion?
Well, that's the better question.
Stay healthy. That's the scariest part if you're Portland. You're telling me your Hail Mary is, you know what? we're going to get Zion. And forget all those $200 million. We're going to be the ones to turn him around and keep him on the straight and narrow, and he's not going to get hurt at all. Guys, the first thing that's going to happen next year, if they were to get Zion and he's playing well and everybody goes, oh, Zion and Dame, everything's good. Zion gets hurt. Uh-oh, now what do we do?
Right.
If Dame's sitting there going, I'm out. I can't trust this guy.
Ooh.
I don't buy that there is a move that Portland can make that makes you think that they're good enough right now, which is exactly why if you're Dame and you want to win, you make the call and you get out.
I buy the second part of what you said. If they make a move for Zion and you're Dame and you believe in him, that feels to me like the best good faith thing Portland could possibly do. If you're telling me you're not buying Zion long term, that I can't disagree with.
There's a lot of people in New Orleans that are going to be on the phone with Dame going, good luck.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.